looking for?
A Kleenex.
Oh, did it fall?
Box of Kleenex. There's usually some in here somewhere. But
I've got some Lysol wipes.
I don't need those.
You need those?
No, because it makes my nose run. I was in here. I just drinking my coffee.
Mm.
But anyway, good morning.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you're on our Facebook page, it's Pat and GT, or YouTube. We do it live every Friday morning, and then later on today, if you're driving or whatever, you can't do this, then we'll have it as our podcast later on this afternoon.
Exactly. A little dressed up today for the podcast.
Yeah.
Dressed up for the Facebook Live. Excited, getting jumped in at Rotary today.
I didn't know. So when you said that earlier, it didn't hit right, like getting jumped in.
Because being introduced as a new member.
Yeah, that's exciting, right?
Yeah, it is. And I'm really excited. Marty Cordero invited us at Hurrdat, and I'm the one. I'm going to start going. So I've been going to the Rotary meetings. It's been really fun because they have some great speakers. I never really knew much about Rotary until, remember, we went to that meeting with Marty about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, for both of us, that was our first time to a Rotary meeting.
Never been there. I always thought it was like, before going, I assumed it was like super like creepy and cultish. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like masonry or whatever, but no, it was awesome.
I think this particular club, it's the West Omaha Rotary, and they're a little more, it's, I don't know. They're not that way. It's Marty's club, and Michelle Schragi's in there, and some other people that people would know. But it's, they do have their parliamentary procedure.
Yeah. But
they also have a lot of fun. And then they have some great speakers, and they do a lot of good stuff. I mean,
so you have to memorize things like a slogan or a chant or anything?
No, that's
okay.
That's funny that you say that. I remember the only time I've ever had to memorize a slogan or a chant was in 4-H. Because it was you.
What was that? Do you remember
it? It was something. It was my head for clearer thinking, my heart for greater loyalty, my hands for better service, and my health for better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
Wow, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Little kids, you start when you're 7 years old, right? Yeah, and
I thought it was just a club for
that was your pledge.
Combing cows. I didn't realize it was that deep of a deal.
That was a guy who haven't said that in a long time.
Jeez.
That's your pledge. That's what you pledge when you're in 4-H, and 4-H covers everything from cooking to cows, thank you, but also planting, and also sewing, and also it's like everything from everything. I mean, literally, there's a 4-H club for almost anything that kids would be interested in, but it offers more structure and a great team type spirit, team environment. There are 4-H clubs that are more generic, that cover a lot of different characters. I was always just in the horse 4-H. Was the only one I was in.
Got it.
But I did dog 4-H once. I did do that. My dog Shiloh. I showed Shiloh at the county fair. Yeah. She had to learn sit stay.
How'd that work?
I think we got a red, which you could purple, blue, red. So I think I was in the red, which is average. We completed the basic skills.
That's all. So hey, whatever.
We passed.
All that matters. Because 4-H, I'm assuming it's just a pass fail. It's either you do it or you don't.
You red is everybody is like, if you do what you're expected to do with no great flair, that's a red. If you don't do it right, you get a white. So a white is disqualified, or you didn't do everything you're supposed to. Then a blue is above average, and then purple is superior. And then of the purples, you pick your winners.
Lord.
Yeah.
My dad showed cows. He had a cow named Pride that he would show at the fair, and I think he had a picture. I don't know if you just told me about this. We had a picture of it, but he would stay like the whole 7 days of the fair. He'd stay up there with Pride, and he'd sleep. She'd lay down, and he'd lay right in by her stomach. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So he has some pretty good. He's lucky she didn't roll over, man.
A lot of kids do that though. They stay with their animals at the fair, and the reason I think they have them stay all week is that it's all week long. It's the county fair is kind of like your opportunity to show off your crafts or your animals to everybody else in the county, right? So people come all week or 4 days or whatever it is. So you want to have everything on display so people can come through and see. And then at the end of the week or the end of the fair is when they have either the grand champions and the champions parade, or then they also have the auction. So like for the livestock that gets auctioned off, and then that money goes in the kids' pocket to buy their next bucket calf, or buy their next project horse, or buy their whatever it is that they're selling at mark for the auction.
So like they show, and at the end get your ribbons, and then they're out. They get sold.
Yeah,
that sucks.
They get sold for dinner.
That double sucks. Like if they get, if it's like
they know it, they know that's just part of it. That's part of the agriculture life. So they know they're raising this animal, and that's what they're their ultimate goal is. And for the kids that show horses, they don't sell their horses at the end of county fair. It's not like that. There are those that have that mentality of, that you're hoping you can, you're showing your horses to sell them so you can buy the next project. Is kind of like,
got it.
There's that. But for others, it's you find that horse and you keep that horse. That's what you just have. But for the ag kids that are in the livestock division, it's a little tougher.
Yeah, it'd be super tough. I remember growing up and having chickens and stuff like that. That there was one time I remember we had that did the whole deal with the chicken. And I still remember that, the running around and all that kind of stuff. And it was not traumatizing and not to be dramatic, but it's something that I would never want to see again or experience. But yet I love chicken. I love meat. I love everything. But seeing the process, that's why I shot a deer when I was 14 hunting. It was a great experience with my dad. My brother was there, my uncle. But after that, the preparing and the cleaning.
Did they do the field dressing, or did they do the field dressing? I had to do it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Again, not to be dramatic, but it's one of those things that that's the first thing I associate with deer hunting. I'll like bird hunting all day. It's fine. But deer hunting, I just can't. The field dressing of it, like after it's like was alive 5 minutes ago. Yeah. It's like, can't do that.
It's the first time I went, and I've never hunted deer, but I've gone with deer hunters. And the first time I went with them where they got one, and I participated, I guess, to a degree with the field dressing, and just the conversation leading up to it. There was a lot of respect for the animal. There was a lot of respect for the process, and the field dressing is you're preserving that the meat, obviously, that the animal bears, because what would be irresponsible, obviously, is shooting one and leaving it, shooting one, maybe injuring it, and then not going after it, because that's part of the responsibility. If you don't kill it, you need to finish the job.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So going out hunting isn't just all,
it's a lot of walking too.
A lot of walking.
Like at canyons. Yes. Because deer don't just hang out on 114th and Dodge. No. You got to walk into ditches and canyons and all that stuff.
Strategy, like, okay, we're going to drop you guys at this end of the canyon or the draw or wherever you're at. And then the other crew goes around to the other end, and then slowly. Yeah. And then you have to know that they're at the other end, right? So
you don't want to kill your uncle.
Exactly, so you know where everybody's at. So there's a lot more that goes into it.
I know.
And I think they start as we speak. It's the 12th of November, and I think this weekend is the opening of shotgun season, isn't it? For deer?
Well, I don't know. My dad and my brother are going this weekend, though. I don't know. So it is. I don't know what gun. I think they use AR-15s. No, I'm just kidding. They do not use AR-15s.
Your brother just said headed west now. Backpack loaded with TP. Oh, that's good. I hope you got the really good septic safe, Mike, because if you're going to leave it out there, you want it to dissolve. So don't get the really good stuff. Hope it's not Charmin.
I've heard that deer camp. I've never been to deer camp with those guys. I think it was just my dad, and my uncle when I went.
Deer camp is crazy.
They have a good time.
Deer camp is crazy. So so it says thank you, Denise. It's fun. She says I can use the laughs. Thank you, Denise. Also saw a really nice note in here from Valeska. Just wanted to say good morning. I just wanted to thank you for sharing Rihanna Mays to us. My daughter had a session yesterday. She's helping her deal with some grief after having to lose her puppy. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
That's cool.
Rihanna's really sweet. Rihanna's going to be back coming up in about a week or 10 days. She's going to be coming back. She's got some stuff going on that she wanted to share with us. She's been down in Arizona and had one of those retreats for women down in Sedona, and pictures were beautiful. So I can't wait to see that.
Sweet. Yeah, it'll be good to have her back in.
Yep, exactly. Good morning, Tara. Nice to see you.
There are ways you can get a hold of us. It's Pat and JT. If you're on our Facebook page, YouTube, you can comment on the video or send us a DM, or you can email us, hey@patandjt.com. Get emails or text 402-403-9478.
You go first, then I'm going to grab some too.
This is from Mary. And we've been talking about this last couple of days about the Mount Rushmore of fictional characters you'd like to bring into your real life.
Yes.
She said, give me some Ted Lasso in my daily life, and I guarantee I would have a great attitude every day.
I keep hearing about this, and I haven't watched it yet, so I will have to check that out.
Because that means you have to get Apple TV.
I know. And
they don't have Apple TV on an Android.
You know what? I think it's on, I don't know. Somebody correct me. I think it's on Roku. I think you can get the app.
Probably.
I was looking at mine yesterday. I finally got my apps organized.
On Roku?
On my Roku, yes, because I have all these apps. Some are free, some are paid for, some I've canceled. Really? I don't think I'm taking this right now. Anyway.
It might be your car insurance, or your warranty.
Oh my God, it's my warranty on the truck I had 6 years ago.
Dang it.
But anyway, What was I talking about? Oh, the apps. So yeah, I did that to kind of get organized to what apps I'm paying for. And I'm paying for too many
Yeah.
right now. So I need to shut that down just a little bit. But Apple TV, I think, is on there.
Probably. And because Apple wouldn't cut out that whole market.
That's
so
a revenue stream for them.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that.
All right. So what else you got?
This one is from it doesn't say. Anyway, it says it says I got 3 days behind on the pod.
Oh, okay.
JT's Facebook algorithm is definitely different than mine. I'll break out the tinfoil and click on some weird JT stuff and see about finding cats. LOL.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. Okay. All right.
As long as you know what that means.
I gotcha. Got another one here. This one's from Lori that comes in. She says, first off, good morning. Starting my day off with your podcast. A memory for you and Pat from long ago. Maybe you don't even remember. There was a day when Nelson was wearing a dress. Now, Nelson was our producer at the time. Nelson now is mornings on Froggy. And you guys had a live camera in the studio. And I remember the day of the dress. And during the song, Nelson was dancing and kind of rocking out in the studio. Camera was still on. Oh my God. It was, and I do remember he got up on the desk.
I actually saw that video within the last year because it was on, I think it's like on some hidden YouTube page or whatever that we had a long time ago. I'll have to find that because I saw that, and that one, and Nick Bod doing the Dougie too. That video's up there as well.
Yes.
Totally remember that.
Oh my God.
That was when we used to do Nelson's Nightmares, and we would do terrible things to that poor kid. And we just mentioned this last week in a meeting how we used to have him. One time we duct taped him to a light pole on 72nd and Dodge, and the police drove by and pointed and laughed like they didn't even help him.
I think they knew what was going on. And we did have some great connections at the police department.
Yeah.
So we got a little leeway with that.
It was so, gosh, this whole stupid cancel culture and the way society is now, you can't have fun like that anymore. I was telling, again, way too many. I'm turning into like an old person telling all these stories. Remember when? But
it was good shit though, Pat.
I know. But I was telling this story yesterday in another meeting, and that Big Party, who works at Channel 94.1, used to be my intern when I worked at The Edge a long time ago. And like one of his first things we did with him was put him on the corner of 10th and Farnham. And if you drove by and you threw hot dogs at him, if you hit him with a hot dog, you got tickets to like Goldfinger or some stupid show. So yeah, but can you imagine sending an intern out on the street now and having people drive by and throw hot dogs at him? We get in so much trouble.
And on top of it, our interns weren't paid.
No,
that was the other thing, because so you couldn't even have those kind of interns. Like they were free, and we were free when we first started interning. But that was that feeling of you had skin in the game. And I know the whole thought process has changed about the interns should be paid for their time.
Yeah,
but it's like having an apprenticeship. Apprentice used to, I believe, had to pay for their apprenticeship because you're coming in to learn the trade, and so you're actually slowing down the teacher because they're having to train you. And my internship was, I remember that vividly. It was like 6 months of no pay, or maybe 3 or 4 months, but it was a while before I got the knock, or got the invite to come to the program director's office to say, you know what, we're going to put you on the payroll and hourly, and this is what you're going to start getting. And I was like, oh my God,
$2.43 an hour.
I'll take it.
I'm right, because it's better than 0 cents per hour.
Better. They trained me. But
so now we have Reagan and Grace. Maybe we can run that past them and see if we can do something where people throw hot dogs at them. We'll talk to Bill.
We should, because they're still in college. So I'm wondering, we should find out, because it is interesting how that all changed. It's like there was just a shift in the way people thought about it. It was because of Hollywood. Yeah. And honestly, it was because of Hollywood, the lawsuits that came forward because of the way interns were treated at some of the studios. They were basic, and they were mad because they were grunts. They had to go get coffee. They had to go get the dry cleaning. They had to go get. That's what you do.
It's called paying your dues, man.
Somebody has to do it.
It's called paying your dues.
And eventually they'll find that you're more valuable doing something else, and they'll bring in someone else to go get the coffee and go get the dry cleaning and go do.
It's called climbing the ladder.
That's what it is.
Right. So
that was bottom rung. But anyway, that was back when we had those interns. You pretty much could do anything because there were no laws that governed them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, now it's a totally different deal.
Now from Lori, I haven't finished yet.
Oh, got it. Okay.
The rest of what she said here, Another time, Christmas wishes, granting Christmas wishes. And she said she also remembers a little boy talked to Rocket back in the day and asked for a headstone for his sister's grave.
I remember. Oh my gosh. Rocket told that story when he was on back here on our show. And he got emotional again. He said he'll never forget that. And I don't remember all the details of that story. I remember it happening, but I don't remember all the details of it. But yeah, there are certain things that
he called in because his family couldn't afford it.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
And they found a way to make that happen.
And then one time we got scammed by a lady. We've told this story before, but the lady that said her son was at Children's Hospital. Oh no, it was not. We thought it was the kid because this lady had a voice just like a little kid. This whole narrative of being on the 4th floor and cancer treatment, and he just wants to get online and get. So we got all this stuff together, sponsors, whatever, and got him a laptop and got him all this stuff. And as soon as we got him, we found out stuff just started seeming fishy.
We met with his mom. Quote unquote, which was
in
her
in the reception, whatever area of Children's Hospital. Yeah,
because you couldn't go upstairs because he was so ill, and so you couldn't go up there. And so that was where, and the minute that transaction was made,
gone.
Yeah, we learned that totally jaded us.
Yep.
No, we still did some stuff, and then one other one said she heard the episode with Dana Camp, and that happened to be with her birthday. She says absolutely wonderful. She's spot on. Also, she said bring back Mork. I think that's what she was talking about. Mork was oh no, I can't say his name. Oh my God.
John?
No. Mork and Mindy.
Oh, I was thinking.
What can I think? The comedian's
We were
name.
just talking like interns, and I thought, we had an intern named Mork.
Mork. She was. What's his name? Now I can't say his name.
Robin Williams.
Thank you. God, it went out the door. Poof. But yeah, she said maybe of a fictional character to bring back.
I think
Mork. So I said, bring back. Okay, now finish off the rest of them. Did she wrote back, didn't she?
She did. Yeah. Mork. First of all, Mork would get on my nerves real super quick. Although I'd hang with Balky.
Right. Oh my God.
Okay. So Mork, show. Beetlejuice, George Carlin, Elvis, unless he's still really here.
Okay. Oh, see, he's not fictional though.
Yeah. Right. Jim Morrison, Freddie Mercury, Samantha Stevens, Bewitched. Abe Lincoln and JFK. Yeah, those. She kind of 50% misunderstood the assignment, but it's okay. I get it.
I'm with her on Bewitched. I absolutely loved Elizabeth Montgomery in Bewitched.
Yeah,
I absolutely did. Yeah, I saw some interesting stories about her. Oddly, just yesterday I was reading this article that popped up for some reason, talking about her. And if you watch the TV show, and she had a little daughter Tabitha still makes the rounds like on Comic-Con and such. Talking about Bewitched, and Bewitched was remade with
Paris Hilton.
She's married to Tom Cruise. Why am I having such a hard time this morning? Yes, I'm having a hard time with the names this morning. Yeah. But anyway, remember it was remade. They did it like in the early 2000s or something. But anyway, that Elizabeth Montgomery, when she died, she hadn't seeked any treatment for, and I believe it was cancer, but she didn't seek treatment because she had such a phobia about hospitals. And she also was afraid to stop things down to go check because she didn't want production to stop because so many people relied on their paychecks.
Oh, that's admirable.
And at that time, which would have been probably in the early 60s, I think was when that show was in production. I'm not sure, 50s or 60s or 70s.
I don't know. Yeah, 70s probably. I don't know.
70s? I don't even know because it was in reruns forever. So I don't know when it was actually on. But anyway, at that time, I'm sure there was no protection if, a TV show, if a star got ill, everybody just, sorry, you ain't getting paid.
Right.
That was it. So that was part of the reason why she didn't seek treatment and probably died sooner than she should have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird that just came up and then she says that? That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's super.
I just read that yesterday.
It's weird how that stuff happens. Like there was, speaking of Big Party, saw him in the airport on the way back from Los Angeles last week, and I just told a story about him the night before in Los Angeles to the people we were with, and then I roll through the airport, and him and his wife are in there. It's just weird. It's just super weird when that stuff happens. Okay, This one is from Courtney. It's 402-403-9478. She says, an article, I think there's an article I read about the Travis Scott concert, which we talked about earlier this week.
Yeah.
They refer to the people falling as human sinkholes. I hadn't heard all this stuff. There's also a supposed quote from Travis saying something like, "Who said stop the show? ? You knew what you came for."
I'm telling you,
not impressed. And there is something really weird about what's going on and the the narrative after the show and all that stuff.
Did we talk about the Pearl Jam thing on a podcast?
I don't. No, I don't think we did.
We did,
Maybe a
did
little
we?
bit.
The
I don't
connection there.
remember.
There's a
We
podcast.
talk about cats and squirrels a lot,
God,
but I don't know. I don't remember
talk
talking
about
about the Pearl Jam
so
thing.
much weird shit.
Right.
Anyway, there's a podcast that I listen to, and you maybe remember I mentioned No Mercy podcast like a year or two ago, and I was listening to it, and it kind of went away. And I think it's still out there, but it's really like one of those randomly appears every once in a while, a new episode pops up. But one of the guys that was on that episode or on that podcast, he was the guy that brought all the conspiracy theories. He's the guy that brought all the woo to the show whenever they got it going down some of these wormholes. And he started his own podcast now. Oddly, it's called QTN, Question the Narrative.
Yeah, which is basically your motto for your whole life,
right?
QTN.
And anyway, Bob's Lessons is what he goes by. I think that's his handle on Twitter. But he talked about this whole deal, and he brought on a couple other guys that also are into all this stuff, and the symbolism is another thing that he was looking at, and what all this meant that happened and what people are talking about. And hearing you say that what she saw about that concert, there's a saying about Confucius, something about symbols are more powerful than words. The symbolism of things is more powerful than the words around it. But you saw 8 people, now 9 people have died. That just came out yesterday. A 9th person has died, young, 22 years old. But they're still looking into this whole idea that somebody had been pricking people with needles, and they don't know what that was about. But there's the symbolism of the stage, and it looked like a giant portal. And then they had eyes there was just eyeballs all around the top of the stage, which is, there's a symbolism element to that.
Yeah.
But when the day before the concert, there was a drop of a new song or some element of a song with Travis Scott, and he had on a t-shirt that was a Pearl Jam t-shirt that like harkened back to an album that they had put out or an event that had happened in the early 2000s where 8 people had died. And it was just weird.
It's very eerie.
It was just like, okay.
I know, that's very
come
eerie.
on, that's creepy. But there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, the whole not stopping the concert, that's been the biggest problem. And they knew stuff was really wrong.
Yeah.
And they couldn't stop it. And the people wanted it stopped.
Yeah. I'm sure that more will come out, and who knows? I don't know. It's
yeah. And for a lot of people that were there, it was very scary. It was a very scary. It wasn't just the trampling or the rush to get in. It was just the
bad vibe
feeling in the room.
Yeah, I've heard some interviews of people before this, even they were saying even before the incident happened, it was just a very weird vibe, like not evil, like
I heard the word evil thrown around.
Did you? They're just very creepy and very dark, off-putting. Just like when you're like in a situation you just doesn't feel right. That's what they said. It's kind of.
And then when they throw something out like, you know what you came here for. Wait, what?
Music and a beer?
What's it about a ticket?
Not death. Just music and a beer, Travis.
So anyway, yeah. Oh, that's a bunch of stuff I didn't expect to get into.
Right?
Holy cow.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Love to hear more about your anybody who's got their Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it's fun.
Fictional characters to bring back into real life.
Right. It is fun to think about that stuff.
I did have one story for you.
Okay.
Guys, we're rolling into a weekend. It was a story. Let me find it real quick. It was about Yellowstone. And I just wanted to throw this in here because obviously a lot of people are really enjoying this Yellowstone. They said seasons 2 and 3 really saw a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon. Season 4 is record breaking to the point where it has even demolished a long-standing record that was held by Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They had over 8 million viewers for that Sunday night, the premiere. Unbelievable. Bonafide record smashing monster is what they're calling it. The numbers that were just released show that the show had over 8 million total viewers Sunday night. And if that sounds like a lot for a single episode in television, that's because it is. They said that season 4 premiere, the viewership was up 104% over season 3's premiere.
Probably because we talk about it on our podcast.
That's got to be why.
I know. I need to watch the show. I've heard everybody's watching it. I'm not watching it, and I need to watch it.
There's some people that just started watching season 4, saw them posting, and said, "Okay, now I'm going back to the beginning because I got to find out what this is all about." But the season 4 premiere, it's gotten a lot of talk, and then also the prequels. They're talking about all these spinoffs, and then there's another spinoff that they're thinking of doing. I think it's going to happen in Dallas. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be more about the horses because I guess spoiler alert, you've had a week. Okay.
It's about horses.
About the first couple episodes, you see that they're trying to diversify the I guess the way the revenue streams really, because they're fighting to maintain that land. And that's what this is all coming down to, is they don't want the land taken away from them. Right. So they're trying to find other ways though, that they can also provide income, because he promised his dad he would never sell the land. He will not sell. If it gets taken from him, so be it, but he's not going to sell. And Beth is trying to convince him otherwise, because she says, you're going to end up getting 15 cents on the dollar for this land. And he says, well, I'll never sell it, because I made a promise. And he promised you. Oh, you didn't see the episode with his dad was like, oh, so good. But anyway, so he won't sell. So now he's looking at other revenue streams, and that means bringing in some cow horses, cutting horses, reining horses, that kind of thing. And so there's going to be, I think you're going to see another spinoff that's going to go off into that world as well. And there'll be another branch of the family that goes in that direction.
Sweet.
So that's 2 spinoffs. So you'll have a prequel.
And you've got content for a long time.
I'll keep it coming.
Yeah.
That's my job. So there you go. So I'm very excited about that.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. That's very exciting.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate it. If not, you can download, subscribe to our podcast wherever you get podcasts, iTunes, whatever, Spotify, Stitcher,
you're already there. You're on Facebook now.
Yeah. So if you don't listen to our podcast, why not? Thank you guys.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Huda Media Production.